Hi everyone, welcome back to Java 1 for All. Continuing the regular expression, now we are going to talk a little bit about the quantifiers, another example using emails, but I would like to show you the difference between pattern matching and let's say validation. For that, let's copy this class and add another one here, rename it to 5. And I would like to talk about a special character, that is the dot. Because we are going to talk about emails, and the dot is pretty important because the dot in regular expression means basically anything. So if I have 1.3 as a regular expression, it will match 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, or 1, 8, 3, or 1 at 3. So it means that you can replace the dot by anything. So everything that is between 1 and 3 will be considered valid for this regular expression. So now going back here, let's change the text. Let's say that we have a couple emails here. We have Luffy at hotmail.com, comma separated 1, 2, 3, Jotaro at gmail.com, and Zoro at mail.br, for example, or test at gmail.com, or Sakura at mail. So basically, we do have these emails, and I want you to find, for example, all the valid email patterns in this text. Let's get started. First, we have to break things down. We know that we have to group things. So how to group? We use parentheses. And then we know that we have in emails either letters or numbers or underscores or dots or dashes. So basically we will have to use the brackets. And well, emails can have from A to Z or A to Z. This can be very, very, very complex. So I'm just oversimplifying the regular expression here. So 0 to 9. Actually, I have seen some emails like this starting with numbers. It's completely valid. And now it comes the dot. There are some emails. For example, my email is william.20. Now, how can we consider the dot? Because the dot in the regular expression is a valid character, meta character. Well, when you have you want to use the meta character as a string in a regular expression, you have to use the escape character. But the problem is the escape character needs to be escaped in Java. So basically you have to escape the escape like this. And it can also have underscores and can have dashes. So we are just working in the first part, and this needs to happen at least one or more. You can have a@gmail.com. Technically, I think it's valid. Plus one or more. And then all of this must be followed by @. And now it comes the provider. Let's say that the provider can only have letters. Let's not include numbers, and let's not include dots. So for example, I will not have Gmail with a 0 or a dot in between. Let's say that providers will have only letters from A to Z. So basically the @ should be followed by A to Z or A to Z. And this can be one or more times. It means it will match the entire word. And now we have the next part, dot something, .com, .br, and so on. Now, after we have this, we should add, for example, the next one. I would say that's basically the same thing because yeah, it needs at least one letter. So I would just copy this. And I know that after the provider, we have a dot, a text dot. So escape character, and then after the dot, letters from A to Z one more time. So let's execute this. Control Shift F10, and we have all the valid emails. The Zorro is one interesting case because I told you to find all the valid patterns, and technically, depending on the requirements, these would be valid. Maybe this is not part of the email. Maybe this is something that you should consider, and we are not validating yet the email. We are just matching the patterns of emails in this text. We're going to talk about the validation in a bit. We have a problem here that's not clear, and that's the problem with regular expressions. You have to be careful because sometimes it seems to be working, but for example, in Brazil, the email is not .br. There are several emails that are .com.br, and this is pretty common worldwide. And if I execute this now, it will return without the BR. So we have to include as many times as we have the words after the dot something. Basically, this can happen more than one time. So I will just group this so this can happen one or more times. Now Control Shift F10, and we have everything. So maybe this is not fully correct yet. I didn't go deep into these regular expressions, just an example. If you take a look at the regular expression for email over the internet, you see like a 3 lines regular expression. Now, let's talk about the validation. For example, I want to see if the Zorro, this hashtag at !Zorro at mail.br is a valid based on this regular expression. So string has something called matches. So for example, if I call the string, and this could be a reference variable, dot matches the regular expression, it will return true or false if this regular expression, if this text matches the regular expression. So if I execute now Control Shift F10, you will see that it does not match because it is starting with symbols. If I remove the symbols, you will see that we do have true because now it matches this regular expression. So now I'm not finding the pattern of emails here. I'm validating if this string is a valid pattern based on this regular expression. So how would you, for example, do it for everything? Then you would need to break these into different objects. So for example, there is one method in the string class that is called split. So I can get this text dot split, and as you can see, we have a regular expression. So basically, you can say split this text, comma separated. This is going to return an array of strings. Now, this array, we can print this value. Remember, if you just try to print an array, you will get the reference of that array. Now, what I want is the values inside this array. How do we get that? We have a class, utility class called arrays that have a toString method, and we can send several different array types for it. So I will send these emails, and we will notice before the false that now we have each position inside our array. Well, of course, there is a problem because the the comma was added by the toString, but inside the position, each one of the positions, we have the email, but you do have these spaces inside. So the matches, the split, there is no other option for us, for example, to trim. You know how to trim things. what would you need to do? You would need to go over each one of these position. So for example, let's get position number 1. That's the 123.row. So position number 1 is this email. And as you can see, we have a blank space. And you know how to get rid of that through the trim method. Ctrl+Shift+F10. And now you have the correct value. And then you would need to, for each one of them, matches the regular expression. Ctrl+Shift+F10. And as you can see, true. So basically, this is how we would validate each one of the emails inside this text through the matches. Well, I think it got longer than I expected. Let's continue in the next video. See you there. Bye.